What if I told you that being a good person might be the very reason your life feels stuck? You're exhausted, but not just physically. It's deeper than that. You walk through your days carrying an invisible weight. You try to keep everything in balance. Please everyone, avoid conflict, stay calm, be kind, be understanding, be the better person. You were taught that goodness is always rewarded, that if you're fair, humble, and generous, life will recognize your worth. But here's the bitter truth. It's all a lie. A comfortable, well-packaged lie, told to keep you obedient, predictable, and easily controlled. How many times have you stayed silent to keep the peace? How often have you erased yourself just to avoid disappointing others? How many times has someone disrespected you, taken advantage of your kindness, and still you smiled and said, "It's fine"? You swallowed your pride, your truth, your anger, all in the name of virtue. But the world doesn't reward kindness. It rewards strategy. And if you've ever felt invisible, underappreciated, or used, then you already know this in your bones. The more you try to be accepted, the less you are respected. The more you give, the more they take. The more you disappear, the more the world forgets you. That's where Machiavelli enters the picture. Contrary to what many believe, Machiavelli wasn't advocating cruelty. He was exposing reality. He saw through the illusion that morality alone leads to power or respect. He understood something we're rarely taught. Being seen as good is not the same as being effective. And in this video, we're going to strip away the illusions. No masks, no sugarcoating. It is time to understand why being the nice one is not the path to respect. It is often the path to self-destruction. But don't get me wrong. This isn't about turning cruel or heartless. It's about waking up. Waking up from the lie that being good is enough. Because as long as you keep trying to please everyone, you will remain a hostage to your own kindness. If you're ready to finally break that pattern, if you're tired of being used, ignored, discarded, then this is your moment. Let's begin. The harsh truth. The world hides from you. Take a look around. Who gets ahead in life? Who earns respect, influence, leadership? Is it the most compassionate person in the room? Or is it the one who knows how to set boundaries, who refuses to be manipulated? Here's the brutal truth. The world isn't governed by kindness. It's governed by utility. Machiavelli wasn't trying to create monsters. He was trying to create survivors. And one of the most painful truths he reveals is this. Being good is not enough. You can dedicate your life to being loyal, selfless, kind. You can give your all without expecting anything back. But the day you're no longer useful, you'll be replaced, forgotten, silenced. And the worst part, no one will feel guilty about it. Because your worth isn't measured by your goodness. It's measured by your impact, by the power you project, by how seriously people take you. Nice guys are always on the defensive, always explaining, always justifying, always hoping someone will finally notice their worth. Meanwhile, the ones who draw clear lines, who say no, who carry themselves with quiet strength, they are respected. Why? Because blind kindness is seen as weakness. Those who never confront are never feared, and those who are never feared are never respected. If you don't represent consequence, people will use you without hesitation. Machiavelli famously said, "It is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both." He didn't mean to become cruel. He meant, to be respected, you must be seen as someone who can act, someone with backbone, someone who's not replaceable, and that includes you, the root of the nice person syndrome. You weren't born trying to please everyone. You were trained. From childhood, you learned that acceptance came at a price. Forced smiles, swallowed opinions, silenced needs, all in the name of being good. You heard it 100 times. Don't say that, it's rude. Be nice. Don't argue. Be polite. And so, little by little, You shaped yourself to fit the mold. You thought, if I make everyone happy, maybe I'll be loved. But no one told you this. Pleasing everyone is an emotional prison. It's a behavioral trap built from fear. You adapted, you became agreeable, you became soft. But that softness turned into submission. Now, you struggle to say no without guilt. You feel responsible for everyone's happiness, while your own slowly drains away. You think it's empathy, but it's fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being disliked. Your kindness is a mask that hides your voice, your power, your truth. But the longer you wear that mask, the more it becomes your identity. And one day, you look in the mirror and ask, who am I, really? What Machiavelli can teach you about power. Machiavelli saw something most still deny. Everyone sees what you appear to be, but few feel what you truly are. People don't reward your intentions. They respond to your image, your posture, your impact. You can be the kindest person alive, but if you appear weak, you will be treated that way. Machiavelli wasn't teaching manipulation. He was teaching awareness. He said a true leader must be both. A fox, clever enough to avoid traps. A lion, strong enough to intimidate wolves. Not one or the other. Both. This is not about abandoning your values. It's about protecting them. About no longer letting your virtue be used as a leash. The middle path. How to be kind without being controlled. Many people swing from one extreme to another, from passive people-pleaser to cold-hearted loner. But that's just trauma in disguise. Real power is balance. It's being kind, but never submissive. Compassionate, but not permissive. Giving, but only when you choose to, not because you're afraid to say no. So how do you begin? Speak up. Your voice matters. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Say no without guilt. A calm, firm no is a declaration of self-worth. Watch who resists your change. Those who benefited from your silence will feel threatened. That's a good sign. Stop needing to be understood. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being. Replace the need for approval with a commitment to truth. The moment you choose authenticity over acceptance, you begin to command real respect. Machiavelli didn't teach cruelty. He taught clarity. He warned us. A man who tries to be good in all circumstances is bound to be ruined by those who are not. You've seen it happen. You've lived it. You tried to be the good one, and it cost you your peace, your dignity, your power. But now, you can choose differently. You don't need to become cruel. You need to become real. Because being respected doesn't mean you abandon your goodness. It means you stop letting it be your weakness, and that is where your true power begins.